Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Coach Steve Show podcast, but this is the Geek Corner segment of the Coach Steve Show podcast. So I would say welcome to Geek Corner, brought to you by the Coach Steve Show podcast. Before we go into what we're going to talk about, if you're watching the video version, you can already tell because of what I'm wearing. Subscribe to the Coach Steve Show YouTube channel, go to the playlist and get the Geek Corner stuff. One day, if this grows big enough, we got a second channel, but until then, Coach Steve Show on YouTube. Subscribe to it and go to the Geek Corner playlist. You'll get all the Geek Corner stuff here. Logan will return. We've already discussed it. We'll get into Logan coming back. So go do that for me. The Coach Steve Show podcast can be listened to wherever you get your podcast. So go follow it, rate it, leave a review on Apple and the stars and all that on Apple. Please and thank you. And check out all the other stuff. But welcome into Geek Corner. So I saw Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness tonight. It's been a couple hours, maybe about an hour and a half since I've seen it, came home, digested it. This is a non-spoiler review. And Logan and I texted Logan saying, see you on the other side. And he texted back saying, oh my gosh, I'm in a movie theater right now about to watch it. So I think it was just meant to be that me and Logan saw it at the exact same time, because Logan is the most important person of the Geek Corner segment. So Logan, if you listen to this, you're the most important part. This is the non-spoiler one. Me and Logan have talked. We're going to try to get our schedules to line up so we can do a spoiler one. And by get our schedules lined up, I mean my schedule. But Logan will be back for that. One way or another on this, you will get a spoiler Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. This is a non-spoiler, so I'm going to do the very best I can. This is not a long episode by any means. This is a non-spoiler. I'm going to do the best I can. So to not give it away, this is what I start off with. I have questions afterwards. I have thoughts and I have questions. That's mainly what I did. And it was interesting. It was definitely a Sam Raimi movie. So take that what you will. It's very hard to describe this movie. I thought Spider-Man No Way Home was easier to describe spoiler-free than this movie would be, but the more I think about it, it's going to be hard to not spoil it for everybody. So that's what I'll tell you. It's a good movie. Some people had some thoughts about it, looking at the tomato reviews. I don't think that does a movie justice. And again, I'll have to see the movie again, which I will in order to fully do it. But from seeing it for the first time, opening night, early, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. It might disappoint some people for certain facts. It's going to make people very happy for certain points. But again, it will disappoint some people, is one of the best ways to put it. I will say Elizabeth Olsen's acting, you thought she was good acting in WandaVision for all that stuff. I will say the acting for her in this movie was very good. It was top notch. They said that from the get-go. It did not disappoint there. Benedict Cumberbatch took Doctor Strange to another level. Wong, very great acting. So just the acting of this, if you go back and watch all the other ones and you thought, oh man, they killed it. You thought Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch acted well in his movie and in Infinity War and everything. He just took it to a whole nother level. Elizabeth Olsen took it to another level. Wong took it to another level. American Chavez is a character that I think people will love. There are things that are going to happen in the movie that maybe weren't discussed and thought about. There's some things in this movie that are going to happen that we said would, and things did not happen in this movie that we thought we would. I'll leave some of that alone. Some of the reviews talked about the horror aspect, and that's one thing when I went into it going, okay, it's going to be horror. What kind of horror are we talking about? Are we talking about, because Sam Raimi directed the Spider-Man. Is it going to be quote unquote suspense like that or anything like that? Are we talking about horror of like a Stephen King? Are we talking about Saw and stuff like that? Like that type of horror, which obviously it can't. So going into it, is it a Marvel horror? Is it a Disney horror? Um, so the horror vibe is exactly what the preview shows. So the whole horror vibe you can get through because I am not a horror movie person. So I'll leave it at that. That I am not a horror movie person. So you will get through it. But yes, there are horror vibes to it for Marvel. Um, Action scenes do not disappoint. I will tell you that. Um, and one of the reviews already public out there said this movie is all gas and no brakes. And there's an interview with Benedict Cumberbatch saying there's only like a moment or two in the movie where you could take like a deep breath. He was not lying. So I am here to tell you the movie is all gas and like one pump of the brake, if not another half pump, where you can like not be like I was on the edge of my seat. There's two. Sorry, there's probably two parts for real that you could like take a deep breath. This movie is all gas. It's right from the get go. You know, me and Logan talked about Spider-Man No Way Home. If you go listen to that one, the spoiler one for that, where we thought that movie started fast, this takes it all out. Like this takes it. There's some things it addresses, and some things that aren't going to be addressed because we have way farther Marvel down. Some may not like how fast it goes the entire time. Some people will say it feels rushed, and I can understand why people are going to say why it feels rushed. The reason why people might feel like it feels rushed is because of how fast it goes. It is imperative, if you're listening to this, if you have not watched WandaVision, you are going to have to watch WandaVision. If you want to revisit WandaVision, I recommend you do. You are going to have to watch that. You are going to have to watch Doctor Strange, or Spider-Man No Way Home for sure. And you are going to have to watch the original Doctor Strange and Infinity War. And I'll leave it at that. But definitely Spider-Man No Way Home and WandaVision. You will definitely have to revisit those or watch them if you have not. You will have to pay attention to some of the dialogue and pay attention to that. And I recommend, for spoiler free still, go into it with more of an open mind. Please don't go into it I feel like this is almost another WandaVision thing all over again, where we had these huge high expectations for certain things and we get disappointed. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not saying you're going to be disappointed at this, but please go into it scaled down so that way you could probably be more excited. This is a good movie. It's a great movie. Is it going to hit Spider-Man No Way Home box office numbers? That's yet to be seen. I can see how it doesn't, but I can see how it can make a lot of money. It's a good movie, and I love how it's so fast-paced. The action sequences are amazing. Again, hopefully some of you will understand this if you listen. And you go watch the movie. There are some parts where you're gonna think a little bit. Some parts where you're gonna be disappointed. There's gonna be some where you want more. You are going to have questions. You are going to have thoughts on certain things. There is 2 credit scenes. One after a normal one where it does its normal, then you have to sit all the way through till the end. There is a little bit of humor. Some reviews said the humor felt forced. I didn't think it felt forced because the dynamic between Doctor Strange and Wong is there. American Chavez bringing some of that. But they did a good job for being a Marvel horror movie. It did a good job. All the other stuff, this is a real, like, when they say WandaVision is a tee off for Doctor Strange, that's why you have to go for this movie, you have to go revisit it. And you are going to have to rewatch Spider-Man No Way Home to get some insight. And I also recommend watching the original Doctor Strange. And, you know, there are going to be little bits and pieces of why you need to watch Infinity War. But this movie is gas, no brakes. You know, stuff was set up for this movie and other things. That's why I recommend it. So it was a test because most movies in general, they have to set it up in the movie, even if it's a sequel or even if it's, in these Marvel movies, there's still parts in it where they have to like slow down and set it up and do this and do that. Infinity War, even though it had a lot of good stuff in it, and Endgame, you had a lot of moments where it was like you could take a deep breath or like you could relax, just watch the movie, enjoy it. This you enjoyed, but you were like on the edge of your seat. My heart was racing the entire time. I'm sure my Apple Watch will tell me when my heart rate was really high. It's going to be during the movie. It literally was just boom, boom, boom. I am not lying. The horror aspect of it was great. This movie is just different. We talked about Eternals being different. It's not Eternals different where Eternals different is you've never seen characters like these before. They were new characters, and we just really didn't know where they came from, connected to our MCU. What is it setting up, and all that stuff. So this movie it's strange. It's a strange movie. You are going to have to pay attention. And one thing I'll say, and hopefully this doesn't spoil it. So if you don't want to listen to this, close your ears for 10 seconds. You are going to have a moment to cheer. Maybe not quite like Spider-Man No Way Home, but you are going to cheer. And I'll leave it at that. Like that's the only thing I'll say about the spoilers. So good movie. I recommend people watch it. I'm going to go watch it another time. I might even watch it 3 times. Who knows? But I will go see it again. I recommend people seeing it ASAP because I'll tell you what, guys, like Monday or Tuesday, there was some spoiler on Twitter. I didn't even know what it was. I threw my phone. I was like, okay, I'm not going to look at it. And even on Twitter, like somehow they got a hold of it on Twitter beforehand. So if you're listening to this, I have not shown you anything. I'm not saying anything that I hopefully would ruin the movie. Again, it's a Marvel Disney horror, but it gets the job done for the average fan. So it's not a horror of like, how do I put this again? It's not a Stephen King horror. It's not these horrors. It's not a true horror movie. It just has horror vibes, the way it's filmed. But great acting. It's a great movie, guys. Some may not like it, but I enjoyed it. I love these type of movies. I love what was in it. I love the twists and turns it took. I love the suspense. Again, and I kid you not, I was on the edge of my seat. So I recommend you seen it. So this is the spoiler free of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So wrapping it up, me and Logan will do a spoiler one. We'll give you guys a couple days to go watch it, and because of our schedules too, but it's also fair that you guys get a couple days to go watch it. We also feel like it may not be fair to put a spoiler one out there and for some reason you listen to this or come across it or something. We'll do that, and maybe me and Logan will talk about Moon Knight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, but I recommend you guys go see Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Great movie. So like and subscribe to the Coach Steve Show YouTube channel. The playlist is the Geek Corner. Go click on that, and that's where you'll find it. The Coach Steve Show can be found anywhere you listen to your podcast. So go follow it, rate it, go do all that good stuff. Twitter at Coach_Steve72. Logan's is at the Logan Lee. So go follow him too for his podcast and all that stuff. So if you guys go see Doctor Strange soon and enjoy it, because there's going to be spoilers everywhere. We're going to be talking about it. It's going to be everywhere. Go watch it. Go enjoy it. You'll love it. You can take your kids to it. Don't worry. You can take your kids to it. So if that tells you anything. So thank you guys for watching and or listening. This is Coach Steve, another Geek Corner segment brought to you by the Coach Steve Show podcast. And we will see you hopefully with Logan on the next one.